some sense still in pockets in urban cities and tier 1 places, whereas the application value of AI is in the remote part in other places where it is going back to the city. The third one absolutely is the cost of ownership. One of the things that we always like to say is if you have to bring AI everywhere, it has to be affordable. And affordability is a very relative term. What's affordable for one may not be affordable for another. And in terms of that, trying to see that you can choose what platforms you want to run your AI applications becomes very important. So the cost of ownership is critical as we bring AI. And the last but not the least is innovation. When we are talking about energy, we are talking about renewable and population scale. It's not about 10,000 people using it or 100 people using it. We are talking about hundreds. The demographic challenges, the cost and the infrastructure makes it a fantastic problem statement for technology companies as well as working in partnership with the government, university and private sector to bring what we call as AI reach for the billion population that we have in India. Now, one of the key things that Intel looks at is for us to achieve and be able to get that reach and that affordable AI, we have 4 tenets that are important. One is heterogeneous scalable compute, which means you need compute that is not a one-size-fits-all, that can be of various sizes. It's just like how you get on the road. You don't find on the road, on the highway, only Ferraris running. You got cars of various sizes, different engine capacity, based on what the person wants to do, where they want to go, and what kind of traffic they want to really take inside the vehicle. Similarly, the heterogeneous scalable compute is what Intel focuses on, whereby you can run AI on a variety of different platforms based on the right workload. The next one is secure as well as network independent. Being able to run on the edge, being able to run on a platform such that even if you don't have the network, you're still able to run the AI applications. Open ecosystem, open software with AI is another important aspect. And last but not the least, this is not something Intel can do by itself. It will co-innovate with our partners, and one of our biggest partnerships has been with Bashini as well in terms of how we have collaborated. But that aside, India also brings a wealth of different independent software vendors, startups, universities, academia that are all working on AI, being able to do that in partnership. Now, what does affordable AI really mean and what that vision really looks like? And I've called out some verticals and some examples. It ranges from education, where it can be personalized, different vernacular, make it very interactive. It could be in retail, where we are empowering the micro entrepreneurs to small and medium business, where they can use AI in a way that they can compete with the rest of the world, also sell their products globally. The other aspect is healthcare. This is not just talking about the large hospitals, but also being able to take healthcare down to the grassroots level to be able to achieve basic health as well as do advanced healthcare. Public services, infrastructure, be it transportation, be it looking at climate, landslides, flood warning, places like that. Agriculture, where precision farming can really help the marginalized farmers. And last but not the least, AI can be a great power for us to amplify the cultural attributes that India brings. And so these are some examples of verticals where we can take affordable AI forward. Now a good segue into that is what Intel has done with Bashini. We have collaborated with Bashini to bring both real-time translation and transcription, which is so valuable for students, productivity tools, even for small businesses, enterprises, and we have now that working on our Core Ultra series, which is the AI PC. So without the network, you can have Bashini, the language translation, both the ASR, the Indic language, transcription to 22 languages, all available on an AI PC, and you will see that demo. Just to extend that, even global content, like Andrew here talking about some of the AI courses, and he's one of those who's been teaching a lot about AI globally. For us to be able to take content like that and have it available in different Indian languages, and have our students, our professionals to have access to it, is something that we have accomplished with Bhashini. So that's another prototype that you will see. Now, as I wrap this up, we want to build a future where AI works for every Indian. It does not matter where they are located. When it works, it just works not because you have connectivity, even if you don't have connectivity, not because you can buy something very expensive. You should be able to get those platforms and solutions in a very affordable way, and not because where you live. You may be living in a city, you may be living in a tier 2 place or in a village or any remote place. That's when AI really works for every Indian. And that's our goal, and our collaboration with Bhashini has been one of those examples, and we'd like to further take that in a way that we can go meet some of the vision that we have put forth jointly together. Thank you.
So now I would like to call Ms. Shweta Khurana to share her insights.
Good morning, everyone. What Gokul spoke about is the power of what happens when you actually put an AI PC and all the associated tools which can help in real-time translation in the hands of a student. What I'm trying to do is paint a picture of how this would translate in our schools. So let me share, and while I'm talking, what you'll be seeing at the background are snapshots. These are snapshots of AI labs across our country, across India. It's interesting to note that what is really happening here. You see students in schools and colleges learning about artificial intelligence and how to apply it, to create solutions, to innovate, to really solve the problems or challenges they see around themselves, their communities, their institutions. Now, most of these labs have 3 corners. So the first corner is a learning corner, which typically a student where they would learn the skills which are required, would pick up those skills from. And you would have an access to a plethora of devices in this corner. The second corner is a development corner, and the third corner is the inferencing corner. So in these corners, there has been given an access to AI PC. And when we ask the students who've been operating in these labs, what's the biggest challenge which you see today? What is it which would not enable you to go find a problem and try and use all the skills that you have to go solve it? The first challenge which they came up with was connectivity. In fact, many of these labs which are in far-flung areas, they said, I'm actually using my parents' handheld device to transfer the internet from there, and he yells at me because I end up consuming all the bandwidth. So lack of connectivity was the biggest challenge which enabled, or in fact, which kind of deterred them from really creating the knowledge. Now, with an AI PC and with a whole environment of Bhashini loaded onto it, we actually end up solving that challenge. Then we spoke to a couple of other students and we said, help us understand what is it that we can do to enable you to become an innovator in this space. And they came up with a lot of recommendations, but the one which stood out personally to me was access to tool sets. And this collaboration which we are doing with Bhashini today will really enable the access to those tool sets and give those tool sets in the hands of the local innovators who can then go and become knowledge creators of artificial intelligence instead of being just consumers of whatever they see in a language which is foreign to them. So just wanted to share this thought of how the application would result into real-time impact on the ground in the education environment. Thank you so much.
Now I would like to call Mr. Kushal Pathak to specially address the audience with the insights.
Little mic you have? No. Caller.
Dear Bhashini and the Intel team, good to hear the work which you have been doing right now in terms of language translation and education. And thank you, Bhashini team, for inviting me today to share my thoughts. And I was told that this 10 minutes I had to speak extempore. So to speak extempore, I decided to tell you a story. While I was working in Rural Development Ministry once upon a time, one of my colleagues was sent for an inquiry. One of my colleagues was sent for an inquiry for embezzlement of money. So I wanted to augment my mic system because the sound is buzz here. So I was telling you a story that in rural development, one of my colleagues was sent for an inquiry to find out a bridge which was supposedly constructed under Manrega scheme. And the complaint was there was no bridge which was constructed. So my friend, he went and saw the bridge and saw the record. Everything was spick and clean. The bridge was there, the record was clean. So the complaint didn't lie, and my friend was very good, by the way. But his hunch feeling said that this bridge is not made in a day. Like the Rome was not built in a day, the bridge was considered not made by the Manrega worker. It had a lot of architecture issues, which was only possible in the colonial era. So his hunch feeling was that this bridge was constructed way back, not by the poor Manrega worker. To establish this fact, he went department to department, ministry to ministry to actually find out where the record exists. He couldn't find any record. Till last when I met him, he's still struggling to find the real answer why he was not able to get the answer to where and how the bridge was made by poor women who were working in Manrega. The real issue is not this, that the bridge was there, the work was done, and there was no record. The issue is
Push my button, I think, sing while the
huge impact